So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to IAC. So, today we are going to discuss one of the important topics which is useful for all the competitive exams like banking, SSC, railways. So, what is that concept? Is everyone knows about this concept, but when they are going to see this question in the examination, they start get afraid of these questions because completely theoretical. But if you are able to attempt these questions, you will definitely going to get the answers because it's a very easy concept. But the people get afraid of these concepts because it's a theory one. If it is a mathematical related or calculated related, you can do by using your cut short methods and everything. But coming to this, today we are going to discuss very important topic, that is critical reasoning, which is useful for all the competitive exams, that is for banking or insurance exams or railways or SSC exams. Whatever be the competitive exam that you are going to attempt in the future, you have to go cross through this concept, that is critical reasoning. Okay, sir. So critical reasoning concept, how we are going to attempt the questions from critical reasoning, and what are the different types of concepts available in this critical reasoning. We need to concentrate all these things. Clear? So before that, to answer the questions from critical reasoning, everyone, those who are attempting the competitive examinations, everyone should have the knowledge, everyone should have a habit of reading newspapers regularly, because especially for this critical reasoning, why they have introduced this critical reasoning in the examinations. So most of the people used to think that at 2 3 years back also, people used to think that this critical reasoning is going to ask you in the banking examinations or SSCGL level examinations, so no need to prepare for RRBs and everything. But if you observe 2018 ALP exams, on an average they have given 6 questions, 6 to 7 questions on an average. 6 to 7 questions are from critical reasoning in each and every ALP paper. On highest they got 9 questions, almost 9 critical reasoning questions been given in the RRB ALP paper. So just imagine, other than the critical reasoning concepts, if you go for other than the critical reasoning concepts, how they are giving the in the examinations. So other than the critical reasoning, if you are given any other topics in the reasoning like seating arrangement, puzzles, or blood relations, directions, ranking, like that, if they have given the questions, you can apply the answer. You can apply your own methods and you can get the answers. But coming to this critical reasoning, why they have introduced this topic, especially this topic, in your competitive exam? Because they want to check your mental ability. They want to check your mental ability because the type of decision taken by each and every person may differ, right? Decisions may differ, type of results may differ. So to check your mental ability, they want to check your mental ability. So for that, they are going to give you different types of scenarios, different types of case studies. You need to respond. You need to respond to a particular problem. A particular problem will be given to you. You need to identify the problem, and you need to identify the solution for the problem, and you need to give your views. Clear, sir? So basing on your result, basing on your answer, they are going to decide, yes, this person is having this much of capability. Clear, sir? In future, in all the exam, they are going to introduce this critical reasoning only, because it will not have any shortcuts. This concept will not have any shortcuts. But if you are able to understand the things, if you are having the knowledge on solving the problems, real time problems, then you can answer this type of questions. First thing you need to have is, you should have the concentration. A perfect concentration should be there on each and every practice session. The first thing what you need to do is, you need to read the current events. You need to be updated with the current events. Okay, then only you can answer these questions. Clear, sir? So in this concept especially, we are going to discuss. So if you observe here, we are going to have a concept called assumption, a concept called argument, and course of action. So like this, we are going to have different types of concepts. I'm just discussing about. I just given only three concepts here. Like this, we are going to have almost we are having 5 to 6 different concepts are there. So how we are going to teach this particular critical reasoning? Very important concept, critical reasoning. How we are going to deal this critical reasoning in our ISE classes? Clear? That I want to tell you. So today I want to give you a brief information regarding the some of the topics from critical reasoning. So how to answer the questions by observing the question itself, how to differentiate between the wrong answer and correct answer, and how to eliminate the wrong answers, how to reach towards the correct answer. So I'm going to tell you some of the keywords are there. By observing the keywords, how can we are going to eliminate the answers. And one more thing I want to tell you, before that I am going to tell you that how we need to answer these questions, and we have to be ready with what type of questions that they are going to ask you in the examination. Clear, sir? First, we have to be ready with that. What type of questions that they are going to ask you in the examination? What type of answers that I need to give to the particular question? That's what I need to be careful. Okay, there are 25 to 30 different questions going to come in the examination. Some of them I am going to discuss with you today. Okay, so in the main classes, when we are going to start the regular real-time classes, online classes, then I'm going to tell you all the content in that classes. But today I'm going to tell you some of the points from assumptions, how to answer those type of questions. Clear? So coming to the first topic, assumption. So everyone know what is the word called assumption. Everyone knows the meaning of it, right? So if I ask you what is the meaning of assumption, the people used to say that, sir, assumption is nothing but assuming. The people used to say this. Assumption is nothing but assuming, or imagination. Some people used to say imagination. They won't ask you what is assumption in the examination. Okay, they won't ask you the definitions in the competitive exam. So but before answering the questions from assumptions, first of all you should know what is actually assumption is. Okay, sir, I'll tell you what is assumption exactly with a one single example. I'll tell you, sir, so that you can understand what is assumption is actually. Okay, so tell you with an example. Suppose I came to the class. Almost there are 60 to 70 students are there in the class. I wore a red shirt and yellow pant to the classroom. Red shirt and yellow pant to the classroom. So I stood in front of the students, and one of the student raised and told me that, sir, your dress is excellent. He said, sir, your dress is excellent. But what is my dress, sir? I wore a red shirt and yellow pant. Just tell me, is that looking great? Obviously, it looks awkward, right? It looks awkward. But the person is trying to criticize me with another words. He's not directly criticizing me, but with his words, I can confirm that yes, this person is criticizing me. That identifying the intention behind the statement, identifying the intention behind the statement is nothing but assumption. Got some idea regarding the assumption? I'll tell you with one more example. Clear, sir? So during this lockdown, okay, during this lockdown, I just wanted to start. I just want to earn some more money with one more business. So for that, I have chosen one more business from food business. So I want to start a business in the food sector. So that's why I have started a restaurant. Clear, sir? So I have started a restaurant with my name, that is Ravi's Restaurant. Clear? I have started a restaurant with my name, Ravi's Restaurant. Let's say I have started this business in the area where there are a lot of restaurants are there. I have started this business. So every time when you are going to observe a particular restaurant board, you may find that there will be some taglines written on below the name of the board, like Maldives cousin restaurant, Chinese restaurant. Like that, you're going to get some taglines in below the restaurant. But this is my restaurant board, Ravi's Restaurant. I have designed it with all the latest technology. So I have designed board with the latest technology, and I have written some tagline here. Yes, I have written some tagline here. What is the tagline? See. So this is the tagline I have written for my restaurant. What is the tagline, sir? Ravi's restaurant. We serve the worst food in the city. Okay, Ravi's restaurant. We serve the worst food in the city. This is the tagline I have written for my restaurant board. Clear, sir? So just imagine that I have spent almost 10 lakhs on this business. Minimum 10 lakhs I have uh, given as a capital here. Almost 10 lakhs I spent. I spent almost 10 lakhs amount here, and I have written like this. Now, can you imagine that by spending almost 10 lakhs writing these type of things, do you feel that I'm a mad? Do you feel that I'm a mad? No, not at all. Then why I have written this? Suppose I have started this my restaurant business on the main road of any Vishakhapatnam or Hyderabad. I have started on the main road of it. Okay, the people who are going to cross by, the people who are going to cross by are going to observe different types of restaurants, different types of names. May they remember the other restaurant names or not, I don't know, but the customer who is going the but the person who is going to pass by, who is going to see the my restaurant board, he won't forget restaurant name, because Ravi's restaurant, we serve the worst food in the city, right? So definitely everyone will remember my restaurant name. Forget about the second thing, whether they are going to come here or not, but my restaurant name will be popular among the public. Then tell me why I have written this board, why I have written this tagline here. The only intention is to grab the attention of the customers, right? To grab the attention of the customers, I have written this restaurant board tagline. Clear? Okay, so if they ask you what is the intention, what is the assumption, what you can assume from this, so I can assume that to grab the attention of the customers, I have written this. That is nothing but assumption. To finding out the intention behind the actions. Clear the intention behind the actions. Whatever be the action that they are going to do, if you're able to identify the intention behind it, then we can say that that is nothing but assumption. Hope now it is clear for everyone. So we are going to discuss different types of examples like this to make you understand the remaining topics also. Clear, sir? So I hope now you will be clear what is assumption is. What we need to do. Simply what we need to do to find the assumptions are, we need to identify the intention behind the action. That's it. That's it what we need to do. Not more than this. Clear, sir? To answer these questions from the critical reasoning, either that is assumptions or arguments or course of action, cause and effect, whatever be the concept you are going to take, the thing you need to do is you need to know how to eliminate the wrong options. If you're able to eliminate the wrong options, that will leads to you to the correct one. Clear? So for that, what you need to do is you need to understand what is the wrong one, how to eliminate the wrong one to get into the correct one. That's what you need to plan. Clear, sir? So for that, I'll tell you what type of questions that we are going to get in the examination. Okay, so what type of things we need to eliminate, or what type of things we need to get into the correct answer. Okay, I'll explain some of the examples like to discuss some of the points here. Okay, there may be almost 20 to 25 different types of questions they are going to ask you in the examination, but I'll explain some of the points in the real time classes. When you are coming to the online classes, definitely I'm going to give you all the content, all the stuff which is needed for assumptions. I'll provide you. Clear, sir? So coming to this, so first, for each and every example, I'm going to give you concepts. One by one concept, I'll explain you. Clear, sir? So from each and every example, we are going to learn one concept here. One point will be there in each and every examples. Clear, sir? So before that, what we need to do is, so whenever you are going to go for answering the assumptions questions. So Here they are going to ask you whether the assumption is implicit. Can we take this type of intention from the statement? They are going to ask you. So implicit or explicit, they are going to ask you. You need to answer yes, this is implicit. No, this is explicit. Like that, you need to give as the answers. That's it. Okay. So for that, we are going to discuss the questions here. Observe here. Statement given that Andhra Pradesh second capital is Vishakhapatnam. So we are going to discuss on latest trends only. Okay. So see what they are given. Andhra Pradesh second capital is Vishakhapatnam. Okay, sir. So all the members, basically we are all from Telugu states or from the India. So we know that each and every fact about in parts of India, right? So states we know, state capitals we know, CMs we know, governors know we know. So everything we'll know. Suppose if I said this statement, if I told this statement to one of the citizen of Nigeria, okay, or one of the person from Uganda, he don't know anything about India. He don't know anything about India. I just told him that I just whispered this matter into ears of that particular person. Okay, so what I told to that person is Andhra Pradesh second capital is Vishakhapatnam. Like that, I told that person. He don't know anything about India. He don't know anything about India. He don't know anything about Andhra Pradesh. But what he can assume, what he can identify from my words, okay, from my words, what he can expect, what he can assume, that's what is nothing but assumption. Clear, sir? So now we'll see. Andhra Pradesh second capital is Vishakhapatnam, I told to that person. Then to at least if he is able to know what is Andhra Pradesh, where it is, and what is the capital of Andhra Pradesh, then he can assume according to that. But I haven't said anything regarding Andhra Pradesh, where it is actually, but I told him that Andhra Pradesh second capital is Vishakhapatnam. Then what he can assume from my words, okay. So we'll see. Andhra Pradesh second capital is Vishakhapatnam. First one, assumption one is Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati. Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati. Second one, Andhra Pradesh has only two capitals. Okay. Now just you imagine that what you can assume from this. Okay. So everyone knows that recently 2 days back, okay, recently 2 days back only, the governor of Andhra Pradesh has given an order for decentralization of the governance, right? So they have given that the Andhra Pradesh should have three capitals. Like that, they have given the orders. So recently we got that one. So now the people, everyone knows that yes, Andhra Pradesh first capital will be Vishakhapatnam, second capital will be first capital will be Amravati, second capital will be Vishakhapatnam, third one will be judicial capital Kurnool. So we have to be updated with the content to answer this type of critical reasoning. Okay. Now observe here what a person from Uganda can understand from my words, what he can assume from my words. So can he know that Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati? Even though Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati, can he guess that Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati? No, he don't know anything about Andhra Pradesh. Then how can he say that Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati? Clear, sir? That means even though Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati, you can't give this as the answer because that is not mentioned in the question. Clear, sir? That is not mentioned in the question. When that is not there in the question, how can you assume from my words? Clear, sir? Because we don't know anything about Andhra Pradesh. We just have to follow whatever the information given in the statement. We need to follow that one only, not other than that. Clear, sir? So no, sir. I have read almost 15,000 to 16,000 books. So I am having more knowledge. So I can say that Andhra Pradesh first capital is Amravati. So by seeing that statement, if I go for the correct answer, then that will be wrong answer. Because you should not perform your knowledge over there. You simply have to follow the intention behind the statement. That's it. Other than that, you should not go any other things. Clear? Such a first one is not the assumption. Hope this is clear for everyone. Clear? So even though first capital is Amravati, you can't confirm it because that is not there in the question. Because you people know that first capital is Amravati, but the person from Uganda can't know this, right? That's why only we need to assume from the words. That's it. Clear, sir? Second one, assumption 2, Andhra Pradesh has only two capitals. Suppose a Uganda person, by my words, he confirmed that Andhra Pradesh, when I said Andhra Pradesh second capital, when I am discussing about the second capital, clear, when I am discussing about the second capital, everyone will understand that yes, there are two capitals. So we can assume that there are two capitals. We are discussing about second capital, right? So definitely we can assume that when I'm discussing about second capital, if I said that the king's second wife is very good, the king's second wife is very good means you can assume that there are two wives for kings, right? In the same way, when I am discussing about second capital, you can confirm that there are two capitals. See what they have given. Andhra Pradesh second has only two capitals. Can you confirm it? No. Why? Why? Because here they mentioned only. There may be three capitals. There may be three capitals, but here I am discussing about second capital. So with that, you can't confirm that there are only two capitals. There may be three capitals. They are discussing about the second capital, though they have given only. So when you find these type of things, obviously the assumption will be wrong. So what we learn from this concept, what we learn from this example means real time experiences. Okay, sir, real time knowledge will not be called as assumption. Okay, sir, real time knowledge will not be called as assumption. That's what we need to learn from this example. Clear, everyone? Clear? So like this, for each and every example, there will be one point to learn. Clear? So we'll move to the next one. So this is the second question. See what they have given. Buy Intex mobile, it works good. Advertisement by Intex company. So hope everyone knows that Intex is an Indian company, right? Indian manufactured company. So they used to provide electronic goods like mobiles and everything they are going to produce. So with the call of Narendra Modi, he told each and every Indian that buy local and be local. So they are asking that. So he is asking every Indian to buy local products only. Then only our economy will increase. So by following the words of Narendra Modi, I bought a phone from Intex company. That is an Indian company, okay? So buy Intex mobile, it works good. So I bought an Intex mobile, and after using for 2 3 months, suddenly the problem starts with my mobile. Okay, the power, I'm not getting the power backup properly. So I don't know whom to express my feelings. So I went to different types of customer centers. They haven't responded well. So I don't know whom to express my feelings. So I kept calm. So suddenly I went to an examination to write the exam. Suddenly I found this question. Suddenly I found this question. What is that question, sir? Buy Intex mobile, it works good. Advertisement by Intex company. So this is a statement given by Intex company that buy Intex mobile, it works good. But when I observed this statement, I got angry because till now I don't know from to whom I need to express my feelings. I'm suffering more. I am suffering more with this Intex mobile. I don't know whom to share my feelings. Suddenly I got this question and I have observed that Intex mobile power backup is not good. Yes, I am the facing same problem. I don't know whom to express my feelings till now. Yes, I got the chance. That's why, yes, this is correct, sir. Intex mobile power backup is not good. So can I go for this? Can I go for this as the answer, sir? No, because your personal experiences cannot be assumptions. Clear? Your personal experiences cannot come into assumptions. That's what you need to learn about this. Personal experiences. So remember this point, friends. So personal experience cannot be assumption. So what we learned in the previous example, real-time facts cannot be assumptions. Real-time knowledge cannot be assumptions. Second example, we know that personal experiences. I'm using Intex mobile. I know what are the problems being given, obtained from this Intex mobile. So I should not express my feelings in the examination, right? That's why Intex mobile power backup is not good. I can't say this one as a correct answer. Intex mobile is one of the best mobiles. See what they have given here. Buy Intex mobile, it works good. So positively given statement will have a positive assumption. Clear, everyone? Positively given statements will have the positive assumptions. So that's why अगर positive they have given positively regarding the state in text mobile, I have to assume positively. So this will be wrong and first one is correct. Clear everyone? So what is the concept that we need to learn from this? Personal experiences cannot be assumptions. Clear my friends? Clear everyone? So we'll move to the next example. So till now we have discussed two examples. First one is based on the real time knowledge cannot be the assumptions, and second one, personal experiences cannot be assumptions. Next, coming to the third one. Okay, liquid sanitizers should be used in place of soap bars to wash hands. So it's a trend from last 5 to 6 months. From last 4 to 5 months, we are in lockdown and using sanitizers to sanitize your hands and different different types of sanitizers that you are using, right? So different types of things that we are using to protect ourselves from the COVID. See what they have given in the statement. They said that liquid sanitizers should be used in place of soap bars to wash our hands. So instead of using soap bars, it's better to use liquid sanitizers, they said. Clear, sir? Liquid sanitizer, it will be the best, they are saying. So first one, soap bars are harsher to skin than liquid sanitizers. Soap bars are harsher to skin than the liquid sanitizers. Why they have given in the assumption, they are saying that soap bars are harsh compared to liquid sanitizers, they are saying. So here what we need to learn the concept is every time we need to stick to the statement. Clear, sir? We need to stick to the statement. So remember this point, my dear friends. So stick to the statement. Stick to the statement means here they have given soap bars. Yes, there is soap bar. Liquid sanitizers. Yes, there is liquid sanitizer. That is not called sticking to the statement. Clear? So whatever the information they have provided, we need to stick to that statement only. We should not think beyond that. Okay, sir. So soap bar is harsher. Soap bar is smoother. Soap bar will be having a lemon energy, is having the neem energy. That was not mentioned in the question, right? Nothing is mentioned regarding that. Simply there's given that liquid sanitizers instead of soap bars. That's it. But here they are saying that soap bars are harsher. They are giving the characteristics of the soap bar. Why? That is not mentioned here. That's why this one will not be the assumption. Clear everyone, sir? Whatever the information they will provide in the statement, we need to take that as the assumption. That's it. Clear? That's it. We should not think beyond this. So what the concept we need to learn here? Stick to the statement. Clear, sir? So first one, real-time experience, real-time knowledge. Second one, personal experiences. And third one, what we need to learn here is stick to the statement. Okay, sir? By sticking to the statement, we need to answer the questions. Next, we'll go with one more example. Okay. Electric vehicles produce less air pollutants. So what the statement they mentioned here, sir? Electric vehicles produce less air pollutants. So electrical vehicles, if you go for electrical vehicles, they will produce less pollution, right? Everyone knows that because they won't give carbon monoxide or something. They won't release all these type of things because we are going to use only E energy over there. So now what we can take from this. So the statement they have given is electrical vehicles produce less air pollutants. That's what they have given. Now we'll check here. Electrical vehicles will be the only means of transportation in future. So in the statement they have given that we have to use electrical statements. Electrical vehicles produce less air pollutants. Electrical vehicles produce less air pollutants. That is the statement given, and in the assumption they are saying that yes, everyone has to use this because in the future, everyone is going to use the electrical vehicles only. That's what they have mentioned. So can we take this as assumption, sir? No, no, we should not take this as assumption. Why? Because you can't compare, you can't predict the future, or you can't compare the past. Remember this point. Yes, sir, you can't predict the future, you can't go into the past. So comparison with the past and future incidents will not give us the assumption, will not be considered as the assumptions. So in this statement they said that electrical vehicles will be only means of transportation in future. So in future you can't expect the future, you can't predict the future by giving the statement. Clear, sir? That's why that assumption is cannot be considered as assumption. Clear? This cannot be implicit. So what we learned from this, past and future comparison cannot be called as assumption. Clear, sir? Till now we have discussed four. Like this, we are having almost 25 different examples with different concepts. If you are thorough with all these things, you can answer 100 out of 100. 100% you can answer these questions if you know all the things. The thing is, you need to know how to eliminate the wrong answers. By observing the future comparison, you can eliminate the options. Suppose if they have given any real-time experiences, you can go for the wrong answer. Clear, sir? So till now we have discussed four examples. So we'll discuss two or couple of examples. Then we'll move to one more topic. Clear, sir? Hope this is clear till now. So how we are going to teach the classrooms, online classes? Hope you understand. Each and every topic we are going to have different types of topic. Each and every example is having different point. Okay. Next one. See, next one. India will follow new education system from 2022. India will follow new education system from 2022. Cabinet minister announces in press meet. Okay. So this is recently July 29th. They have given in a cabinet note that the new education system will going to be implemented from 2022, and they have designed everything differently from the previous education system. So this government is going to change the education system, right? That is going to be applicable from 2022. That's what recently the government has taken the decision. To answer the questions from I am giving you one more time, I am telling you one more time that to answer the questions from critical reasoning, you have to be updated with the current events. The question that they are going to ask you in the assumptions or arguments or course of action, they will give from the question papers only headlines of the question papers. They are going to give as the answers. Clear, sir? That's why you have to be thorough. You have to be thorough with the latest updates in current happenings in political or educational or social changes. You have to be updated with all the things. Clear, sir? See what they have given. India will follow new education system from 2022. Cabinet minister announces in press meet. So cabinet ministers in the press meet, he told that yes, we are going to change. We are going to change new education system. We are going to change the old education system, and new education system has been introduced recently, and it will be applicable from 2022, he said. Okay. Now this change is not necessary. Assumption is this change is not necessary, they said. Okay. Now tell me what is the assumption for this. So simply, so when they have given no to the statement, no to the statement. See what they have given. Will going to India will follow new education system from 2022. Already the government has declared. Already the government had decided and trying to implement from the next. And what they said, this change is not necessary. They are saying no to the given statement. So whatever be the information they have given positively on the statement, we need to take the positiveness from the. Suppose if you found any no, any rejection from the for the given statement, then that will be called as a explicit statement, explicit assumption. That assumption will not be implicit. Clear, sir? So what is the point we need to learn from? Whenever they have given no to the given statement, then we have to consider that as obviously the answer will be wrong assumption, so we can go for explicit. Clear, my friends? So till now we have discussed almost five different examples. First one based on real time knowledge, and second thing we have discussed regarding personal experiences. Next one, we have to stick to the statement, right? Next we have represented this no to this, and before that also we have discussed a past and future. So what the other thing we have here is past and future, comparison of past and future. Okay, so if you found any of these statements, any of these type of examples in the examination, you can go for the wrong assumption. You can confirm it as a wrong assumption. 99.99%. This will be wrong assumption only. Clear? So this will be wrong assumption only. Clear? So this is about some of the examples. I'll explain with one more example. See what they have given. So till now we have discussed 5 points. Like this, we are having almost 20 to 25 points will be there. So I'm going to explain all the 25 to 30 points when you are going to come into the live classes. Clear? So before that, I just want to give you the brief explanation how we are going to how we are going to teach in the classroom. Clear? How the answers we need to do. Clear? By observing these points, this will be remembered in your mind permanently. Once you go through the practice, once you write all these points in your notes, once you go through the points, you're going to get the answer. So no need to practice the questions more also. When you're going for the exam, just refer these points, you will get everything in your mind and they'll get refreshed. Clear, sir? So here observe one more question. So what the question they have given: hospital beds are allocated only for VIP COVID patients. Okay, sir. So this is one of the headlines that we have seen recently. Recently in the English newspaper, we have seen this headline. So hospital beds are allocated only for VIP COVID patients. A report by ABC Hospital. So ABC Hospital has given a press report that own hospital beds are allocated only for VIP COVID patients. That means they clearly confirmed that no other person should not come. Hospital beds are allocated only for VIP COVID patients. So they clearly mentioned that VIP COVID patients. Now observe what the assumption they have given. So only female VIP COVID patients can occupy the beds. Okay, they are mentioning in the question, they mentioned that VIP COVID patients will occupy the beds only for VIP COVID patients. It's a generalized information, right? It's a generalized information. It's a generalized information. See what they are given here. Only female VIP COVID patients can occupy the beds. Here in the question they are mentioning about VIP COVID patients. In the assumptions they are giving that only VIP COVID patients. So this is very specific. Okay. So remember one point. When the statement is general statement and when the assumption is a specific assumption, it cannot be considered as a perfect assumption. It cannot be considered as implicit. If the given data is generalized data and the given answer is a specific answer, that means they are talking about VIP. They are talking about VIP COVID patients, and here they are mentioning about female VIP candidates. So female VIP, that means this is a generalized one and they are mentioning about a specific point. So when a generalized statement is given and the assumption is having a specific information, it cannot be considered as assumption. That's why generalized to specific as well as specific to generalized cannot be considered as assumptions. Clear, sir? So till now we have discussed almost 6 points. So like this, when you are going to observe this point, obviously we have to go for wrong assumption only. So I'm telling you one more time. So when you are going to answer the questions from critical reasoning, the only thing you need to do is you need to know how to eliminate the wrong options instead of going for the correct answers. If you are able to identify the correct answers, wrong answers, so if you eliminate the wrong answers, obviously you are going to reach the correct answer. So it's better to go for the elimination. So by observing these type of points, we can go for the elimination, right? So these are some of the points where we are going to apply on the assumptions concept. Clear, everyone, sir? So the thing what we need to learn from this is assumption concept will give you the answers when you think on the particular point. Whatever the information they have provided in the statement, we have to stick to that statement only. We should not go beyond the statement. That is what is all about assumptions. Okay, sir. In live classes, when we are going to come into the classrooms, so I'm going to tell you the remaining almost 6 to 7 points that we have discussed here. We are going to discuss remaining 20 to 25 points are there. So where we can eliminate the wrong options. Clear, sir? Because the question level made changes The question level may changes from exam to exam. For suppose it is given for RRB clerk, RRB PO, or any clerical level examinations, they are going to give you 2-3 lines question. Suppose if they have given for SBI PO or IBPS PO mains examinations, they are going to give you the comprehension type of assumptions. That means a huge data will be given, and we need to pick the answers from that. But the concept is same. Concept is same. The elimination points are same. But the thing what the difference is, you are going to have a comprehension level of questions in the PO examinations, and a small level of questions will be there in the remaining examination. And you can't expect that you can't stick that yes, these questions are coming only banking examinations. No, in SSC CGL, in SSC CHSL also you can expect assumptions and argument critical reasoning questions. I already told you in the RRB ALP 2018 exams, highest they have given 8 questions from this critical reasoning. So in future also, you're going to get a critical reasoning more. After seating arrangement and puzzles, critical reasoning will be one of the important topic in future. Clear, sir? So this is one of the topic from critical reasoning, that is assumptions. Clear? So I just want to tell you one more topic. I just want to make you the difference between two topics here. Okay? Why? Because assumptions is completely different from the rest of the topics in critical reasoning. Why I tell you? Because critical reason in the critical reasoning, if you want to answer the questions from assumptions, you should not have the general knowledge, a common sense, just to understand the things that is required in answering assumptions. No need of general knowledge at all. If you are able to understand, clear, if you are able to understand the things, that's enough. No need of general knowledge. Clear, my friends? No need of general knowledge. Just read the question, understand the question, apply your common sense and logic. That's why that is enough. You are going to get the answers. Clear, sir? So this is related to assumptions. Coming to the rest of the topics in critical reasoning, that is completely different. Coming to the arguments concept, I'll tell you the next concept is arguments. Okay, arguments concept. If you come to this arguments concept, okay, this is completely different from assumptions. Why? Suppose if you are arguing with any other person, suppose if you want to argue with some other person, definitely you should have the knowledge on the topic that you are on what you are going to argue, right? Definitely you should have the knowledge on the topic, then only you can go and argue. So if you frequently observe the TV debates, the political parties used to debate with each other, going to argue with each other. So how they are going to argue with each other, sir? By giving the information, by applying the knowledge over there. Otherwise, if you are not having the knowledge and if you are simply sitting in the TV debate, you can't do anything. You just raise your hand and you can put the hand. That's it. You can't do anything. In the same way, to answer the questions from arguments also, you should have minimum knowledge on the given content. Then only you can give the answers. And I'm telling you, especially for the arguments concept, without knowledge, you can't do anything. But in the assumptions, no need of concept knowledge, no need of particular concept. If you are able to understand the statement, you get the answer. But arguments, you should have the knowledge to argue. So how they are going to give you the statement? They are going to give you a strong argument and weak argument. You have to be ready to answer which one is strong and which one is weak argument. So they are going to give you both the arguments. They are going to give you both the arguments only, but you should have the capability of deciding which one is strong and which one is weak. Clear, sir? So like that, they are going to give you the questions. So the thing is, when you are going to answer the questions from arguments, what you need to be concentrate, what you need to concentrate on. Okay. So what you need to concentrate here is, so here also we are going to get some of the points where we need to, how we need to answer the questions, how we need to eliminate the wrong options. Like that, we should go for this. Okay. Suppose if any statement, I'll give you briefly 3 or 4 points here, then I'll move to the example so that it can be easy for us to understand. Suppose that if any information is given related to industrial development of the country, industrial development. Suppose they ask you that can India go for building new industries? Yes, we have to go for this. Should rural people be encouraged with small industries? Yes. So whatever be the industries, suppose they have given question that related to industries, yes, we have to say yes for that. Positively, we need to respond. If any information related positively regarding this will be considered as strongest arguments. Any information related to industrial, education, or defense. So, like that, if any related to security of a country, defense of a country, education system of a country, infrastructure of a country. So, whatever the information they are going to give you on basis of these things, these sectors, we have to consider them as the strongest arguments only. So, sometimes if they are given some universal truths. Suppose if I want to explain the things, if I want to explain the things in a better way, okay, if I want to explain the things in a better way, by using these type of universal truths will simplify the concept. Suppose a person is there wearing white and white, okay, he's looking very great. He's wearing white and white with full gold and moving around here and there. So obviously when you're going to observe that person, you may feel that yes, this person is very high-fi candidate, wearing white and white and everything. But suppose any argument statement is given like that, and in the arguments they mentioned one universal truth, that all the glitters are not gold. Suppose they have mentioned with this one, all the glitters are not gold. With a simple word, with a simple sentence, we can confirm what is the character of that person, right? So that is nothing but universal truth. Clear, everyone? This is called as universal truths. So by applying these universal truths in this question, so that can be considered as the strongest arguments. So lot of universal truths will be there. Clear? So we can call it as proverbs or universal truths. Sun rises in the east. So that is a fixed one. So the people who are not being able to listen the words of others, if they want to fix, they will fix. So that type of things, the persons they used to say that the sun rises in the east. The truth behind the sunrise in the east is equal to the person's capability, the person's attitude. The people used to compare these things, right? So when they are going to use these type of universal truths, then that will be considered as called as strongest arguments. So like this, we are going to have different points to identify which one is the strongest argument and which one is the weakest argument. So when you are going to come to the classes, I am going to give you the list of it with each and every example. Okay, so before that, I already told you, to answer the questions from arguments, you should have the knowledge. You should have the knowledge on a particular point, otherwise you can't give the answers. Okay, we'll see some of the examples here. This is the first one. Latest issues. I am mentioning one more time. Basing on the latest issues, you are going to get the questions. Okay, see what they have given. Should India give away Doklam part to China? So recently, the issues been in between India and China, basing on some of the parts, geographical parts of China and India, right? So Doklam is one of the part of India. Okay, they are occupying and we are restricting. So every time the war with words is between China and India because of the Doklam part only. So should India give back Doklam part to China is the question. Okay, is the arguments question. Now you need to justify your arguments on this. Now you need to give the arguments here. Okay, so see here what they are given in argument one, what they are given. So to answer this question, you should have the knowledge. Then only you can go for the answers for it. If you don't know if you are not having the knowledge on the particular point, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't give the exact answer for this. Okay, we'll see here what the thing. No, no means should India give away Doklam part to China? No, it's part of our country. We should not lose a single bit of our land to neighboring country. So see what they have given. So first answer they have given is no. No means they are restricting. No, we should not give Doklam part to China. It's part of our country. We should not lose a single bit of our land to neighboring country. Yes, clearly explained, sir. So why we should not give our Doklam part to China? Why we should not lose that geographical part? So clear why we should not use that one. So why we should not lose that one, sir? They have clearly given that it's part of our country. That particular Doklam is part of our country. We should not lose a single bit of our land to a neighboring country. to an enemy country. We should not give a single part of it. We should not lose that one. Yes, that is clearly given. So we can go for the first one is correct argument. Coming to the second one, was this even? Yes. Yes means should India give away Doklam part to China? Yes. Some people are saying that yes. See what the reason they have given. Otherwise, China government will not allow us to use TikTok application. See, otherwise China government will not allow us to use TikTok application. So if you are not being able to give Doklam, if you are not able to give Doklam to China, China will not allow you to use the TikTok app. They are saying, is it strong, sir? Is it strong? So everyone knows that recently Indian government has banned TikTok, use of TikTok in India. Why? Why they have used this one? Why they have restricted to use the TikTok app here? Because along with the TikTok, they have banned 59 Chinese apps because they are stealing the data of India people. By observing that, by suspecting that the Indian government has banned almost 59 Chinese apps. Hope you know about these things, right? So they are saying that yes, otherwise China government will not allow us to use TikTok. So if you for the usage of TikTok app, can you give a part of India to the other country? No, it's a weak argument. Second one is weakest argument, and first one is obviously strongest argument. Clear, sir? So every question in the argument, to answer every question from the argument, you should have the minimum knowledge on the topic. Then only you can give the answers. In while explaining in the classroom, while explaining that in the classroom, we used to give for each and every example. I'm going to give you complete details of the particular point. Suppose here this is regarding India and China issue, right? So what is the problem will get you once China want to be battle with India? What is going to happen, sir? So compared to India, China is going to lose more because almost 35 to 40% of Indian Chinese market dependent on Indian customers only. Almost 35 to 40%, because we used to buy Chinese products regularly. It's part of all our life. So if China gets a battle with India, started fighting with India, so India people will definitely stop those goods. So obviously that will be a loss for Chinese government. So obviously it's a open secret for everyone. That is the reason they don't try to fight with India, because the main source of their business is India only. The customers are there in India only. So these type of things are going to be discussed in each and every point. Clear, sir? Next, see here, very interesting one. Okay, so should be passed Lokpal bill in monsoon season. The question they asked is, should we pass Lokpal bill in monsoon season? What is meant by monsoon season? There will be different types of uh, parliament meetings will be there based on the seasons. Okay, rainy season they are going to have the parliament sessions. Winter season also they are going to have the parliament sessions, right? So the question they are asking is, should we pass Lokpal bill in this monsoon session? Can we pass Lokpal bill in monsoon season? They are asking. Monsoon season means in next coming parliament sessions, can we pass this Lokpal bill? So, my dear friends, first you should know what is Lokpal is actually. Okay. So if you don't know what is Lokpal, you are going to ask me that, sir, whether Lokpal is brother of K.A. Paul or what? Definitely you are going to ask me like that. Right? So you should know what is Lokpal is actually. Then only you can answer this question. Suppose I don't know anything about Lokpal. I just observed the question. Should be passed Lokpal bill in monsoon season? First one, yes. First one they said yes. With that, we can borrow money to World Bank. So the question they have given, yes, with that we can borrow money to World Bank. So whatever the amount that we have taken from the World Bank, we can we can pay that borrow to the World Bank. They are saying. So if you don't know what is Lokpal, suppose they have given bill here and they are mentioning about money here, you are going to start linking the words. You may feel that yes, they are giving the question, they are given bill here, they are giving paying money. So for the bill they are paying money. You're going to correlate with the words and you're going to answer this question as the correct answer. My dear friends, don't do that mistake. To answer the questions from the things, from the argument, you should have the knowledge. First of all, you should know what is Lokpal is actually. Then only you can answer the questions. So what is Lokpal? Lokpal is nothing but it's like anti-corruption heads, anti-corruption. Regarding anti-corruption system in India, they have introduced this Lokpal. Okay, so one person will be there, Lokpal, like Chief Justice of Supreme Court. How we are having Chief Justice of Supreme Court, in the same way we are going to have Lokpal to involve, to give the judgments on corruption cases. Okay, anti-corruption issues, they are going to concentrate on it. So Lokpal is a fast track court compared to the remaining court. Supreme Court also going to deal with this type of things, but Lokpal is introduced because this is a fast track court compared to Supreme Court. Sometimes Supreme Court is going to take years and years to give the judgment, but Lokpal is going to take maximum 2 years to give the judgment regarding corruption issues. Clear? So that's why they have introduced this Lokpal. So when you are going to hear the word called Lokpal, obviously you are going to hear the name called Anna Hazare. This person somewhat related to Lokpal bill. He fought against Anna Hazare has fought for Lokpal bill. So basing on his popularity, one other person got CM of other state. That is the rest of the story, right? So, but the thing is, when you observe the word called Lokpal, you're going to know what is Anna Hazare. Who is Anna Hazare? He's fought for this Lokpal bill, and some other person followed him. So he used the situations and become the CM. Okay, sir. So I hope everyone knows that person name also. So, but what is the thing about Lokpal here? Lokpal is for anti-corruption issues, corruption-related issues. To maintain India like anti-corruption thing, so system, they are introduced Lokpal. So recently in 2019, starting only, the BJP government, the BJP cabinet who are there in the government has passed the bill of Lokpal, and first Lokpal been appointed. Who is that? PC Ghosh, Pinaki Chandra Ghosh is the first Lokpal for India. Okay, sir, first Lokpal for India. So he has been appointed as Lokpal. Okay, sir. So now tell me why the Lokpal bill has to be passed. What is Lokpal? Lokpal is related to anti-corruption, related to corruption related issues. So first is with that we can borrow money to World Bank. So can we borrow money to the World Bank with that bill? No, that is completely different. So first one is not the answer. If you don't know the content on this, you can't give the answer. Clear? Coming to the second one, no. No means should be passed Lokpal bill in monsoon season. They are saying no. Lokpal is not good for health of Indian economy. They are saying that Lokpal bill is not good for health of Indian economy. They are saying that for the health of Indian economy, this Lokpal bill is not perfectly. They are saying not good for health of Indian economy. How can you say this? That is not at all having the relation. And even though if it is having the relation, that is not directly given and that is not clearly explained. Maybe if the corruption increases, the investments may get decreases. Basing on that, Indian economy will get affected. But that is not directly related. That is not clearly explained. So this is half explained. When the things are getting half explained, it cannot be considered as strongest arguments. That's why both 1 and 2 are weakest argument. So if you are able to identify, if you are having the knowledge on the topic, then only you can give the answers on it. Clear, sir? Otherwise, you can't give this as the answer. Okay, sir. So for this question, we are going for both the weakest arguments because Lokpal bill is completely different from the given arguments. Clear? Next. Should Andhra Pradesh be declared with 3 capitals? So now they are asking the question that should Andhra Pradesh be declared with 3 capitals? Recently on July the 29th or 30th, the Andhra Pradesh government has, the governor of Andhra Pradesh has given order for, has signed an order on this that Andhra Pradesh should have 3 capitals. So first one is administrative capital and judicial capital and one more capital in Visakhapatnam. Like that, they have given permission for the 3 capitals. So the question they're asking, should Andhra Pradesh be declared with 3 capitals? Now you have to tell me your opinion. So apart from the parties, don't involve politics in the questions. Okay, they're asking that should Andhra Pradesh be declared with 3 capitals? First one, no. More capitals, more problems. They are saying more capitals, more problems. So what is the problem? At least they have to mention that, right? Simply they are saying that no, more capitals, more problems. That is half explained. So when the things are half explained, it cannot be considered as strongest argument. Coming to the second one, yes. Yes means in Andhra Pradesh should have three capitals. Yes, centralized system of development will ease the governance. Centralized system, actually decentralized system of development will ease the governance and results in overall development of the state. So obviously when the governance will be split into different parts of the state, so obviously the governance will be easy for them. That's what they have given, and the overall development will be done on the state. Yes, they clearly explained whether your opinion is different from their opinion, but the thing is, if they have given with a clear explanation, then we can say that yes, that will be the strongest argument. Clear, sir? To answer this question, you should have some knowledge on, this particular concept. So Andhra Pradesh and capitals, if you're having the knowledge, you can answer the questions. Next one, see what the question, other question they have given. Should there be an upper age limit of 65 years for contesting parliamentary or legislative assembly elections related to political issues? A question been given on the political issues. So everyone are interested in politics, right? So recent times, the most of the people are concentrating on politics because the people, politicians are mainly focusing on social media advertisements, social media publicity. So each and every youth, the youth people are more connecting towards the politics today. Why? Because they are using the social media. So now we can answer this question because everyone knows this. Should there be an upper age limit of 65 years for contesting parliamentary or legislative assembly elections? That's what the question they're asking. Should there be an upper age limit of 65 years for contesting parliamentary or legislative assembly elections? They are asking that there should be any restriction for this. Simply they are asking there should be any restriction of 65 years of age limit. So to answer this question, you should have the knowledge, right? So you should have the knowledge. If you're having the knowledge on it, then you can answer the question. So first one, yes, generally people above the age of 65 lose their dynamism and willpower. So what is the question they're asking? Should there be an upper age limit? So limit, should we put any limit on the age of the politicians to contest into the elections? So they mentioned that 65 years of age. They are saying that can we restrict that to 65? They're asking that. Okay, first one they said yes, we have to restrict that. Generally people above the age of 65 lose their dynamism and willpower. How can you say this, mister? Because you can't confirm it that after 65 the people are going to lose their dynamism and willpower. I'll tell you an example. Everyone knows the Barack Obama, the person Barack Obama. He is the ex-president of USA, ex-president of America, right? So he left the White House at the age of 52. He left the At the age of 52, he left the White House. At the age of 72, who is that person? Donald Trump entered into the White House. He left at the 52, he entered at 72. Can you tell me that the age limit, the the persons who is having above age of 65 is going to lose their dynamism? No, you can't say that, right? Even the one of the chief ministers of Tamil Nadu, Karunanidhi, he recently passed away. So Karunanidhi, at the age of 96, he died at the age of 96. So even at that age also, he wanted to become the chief minister of Tamil Nadu at the age of 96. He used to sit in the wheelchair only. He used to wear the specs. He's not been able to respond to perfectly, but he's still having that willpower. He's still having the desire to become the chief minister of state. So here you can't decide a particular person's willpower or dynamism basing on the number age. 65 you can't decide. 85 you can't decide. That depends on the person to person. That's why first one is not the strongest argument. Second one, see what they have given. No. No means there should not be any restriction, they are saying. No, there should not be any restriction. The lifespan is so increased that people remain physically and mentally active even up to the age of 80. Here they are, what they are saying, the lifespan, the lifespan is so increased. Now they saying that the lifespan is so increased now. The people are using Ayurveda, the people are using yoga, the following yoga traditional methods of India. The age being increasing, the lifespan is increasing, they are saying. So when the lifespan is increasing, there should not be any restriction. The people can contest after 65 also, they are saying. Then how can you decide this one also? You can't decide this one also. The people who are having 8, 96, 95 also, they are still living. They are living freely. Some people who are having 25, 30 years also, they got heart attacks and they are dying. They are living their lives. So you can't decide that the people are going to remain healthy even up to the age of 80, or they are going to have the will present dynamism less than 65. That is not the thing. Okay, sir. So restricting the number. So what the number they have given? The people are living till the age of 80. How can you decide that? That's a both one and two are wrong answers. So my dear friends, to answer the questions, you should know at least some of the examples to compare the given statements. Okay, so in this way, we are going to discuss the questions in classrooms, so that once the if they are given any question related to the age limit, you are going to remember these type of examples what I told you regarding Obama and Donald Trump. Okay, so when you are going to know these type of things, you're going to answer the questions. Clear? So like this, in the ISE classroom, we used to give each and every topic how to answer the questions, and what are the different types of things to eliminate the wrong options. And for each and every question, we used to give complete analysis on this. So in addition to this, every day you are going to have the current affairs sessions. If you are thorough with the current affairs, you can answer any type of these questions. You have to be updated with the current things, then only you can answer these questions. Clear? Hope this class is clear for you. I have given only brief information regarding the concepts. But when you are entering into the real-time classrooms, we are going to discuss almost 30 to 40 questions from each and every topic with different types of concepts and examples, so that it will be very easy for you to answer the questions in the main examination. Clear? Thank you.